welcome! Guess who is back? Finally! Today we are going to be doing some roll calculus, and if I get a question wrong, I will be donating some Robux to you all. So let's get into it. Today we are going to be focusing on derivatives, and the main thing we gotta know about derivatives is the power rule, which is shown right here. If you have x to a power, you multiply x by the power, and then you subtract 1 from the exponent. And that is the basic derivative formula. And we will come back to this later for more, but this is what we're going to be doing. It's pretty simple, actually, when you break it down. So let's do it. Calculus in Roblox. So f of x equals x squared. We want to find f prime of 3. Now when f has a prime, that means that we are finding the derivative. So first what we do is the power rule. We take the 2 of the exponent, multiply it by x. That gives us 2x. Then we subtract 1 from 2, which is just 1. So there won't be anything at the exponent, so it's just 2x is the derivative. And now we have the derivative, we need to plug in 3. So 2 times 3 is gonna be 6. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, question 2. We got this 5x cubed. We want to find the derivative when x equals 2. So we can use the power rule again. Take 3, multiply it in front of the x to get 15, and then subtract 1 from 3. So the equation is 50 to the third. The equation is 5 squared, and then we have to plug in 2. 2 squared is 4. 15 times 4 is 60. That should be our answer. Let's go. Okay, question 3. This is another derivative, and we need to find the derivative when x is equal to 5. So let's do the power rule again. We got 3x squared, multiply the coefficient of 3 by 2 to get 6x squared, and then subtract do 2 minus 1, and that gets us 1. So therefore the exponent is imaginary, and we just have 6x. But we also have plus 5x, and currently the exponent is 1. So, but it's imaginary. So multiply 5 by 1 to get 5, and then subtract 1 from x, and that gives us 0. And anything to the 0 power is 1. So therefore, the x just disappears, and it becomes 1. So you have 5 times 1, which is just 5. So we are going to have 6x plus 5 as our equation for the derivative, and now we need to plug in 5. So 6 times 5 plus 5 is going to be 30 plus 5 is 35. Let's go. Okay, f of x equals 3e squared plus 5e plus 6. So we need to find the derivative when x equals 5. Okay, so for this one, we have f of x equals 3e squared plus 5e plus 6. Now e is a constant. E is actually equal to, E is actually equal to approximately 2.71828. So this is going to be a constant. And whenever we take the derivative of a constant, let's say 6, it's going to equal to 0. Okay? So this whole entire thing is basically saying 2.7 squared times 3. We're just going to have a constant. Whenever we take the derivative of a constant, we get 0. So therefore, this whole equation is going to equal 0. And we want to find f prime of 5. But, first of all, there's literally no x to plug 5 into, and these are all constants. So we know that this equation has to be equal to 0. Awesome. Okay, question 5. f of x equals 2x to the 100th power. This is just another power rule. We'd multiply 100 by 2 to get 200 x, and we subtract 1 from 100, x to the power of 99, and we want to plug in 1. 1 to the 99th power is going to be just 1. So 1 times 200 is 200. Okay. Question 6. f of x equals 3x squared minus 12 f prime 2 is equal to what? Ooh, okay, we are getting more complicated here with question 6 because you might notice, like, you might look at this and be like, how in the world do you do this? Is this the power rule? Like, what is going on here? We have e and then to the power of 3x squared minus 12. Well, this is actually the chain rule. Then we have e to the power of something x to the power of something else. We have to take the derivative of this inner function as well. This is to the power of e, but then the x is also squared. So we're gonna also have to take the derivative of this. And we know from calculus that e to the power of something, like e to the power of x, the derivative of e to the power of x is just e to the x. That doesn't change. But since we have this whole function inside, we are also gonna have to take the derivative of this and multiply it by e. So what is the derivative of 3x squared minus 12? 12 is a constant, so the derivative of that is just 0. 3x squared, we can use the power rule to get 6x, and then we take that and we multiply it by e to the 3x squared minus 12. So our equation that we get is 6x times e to the power of 3x squared minus 12. And now we have to plug in 2 for x to get 12e to the power of 12 minus 12, e to the power of 0. And we know e to the power of 0 is going to be 1. So we end up getting 6 times 2 times 1, which is equal to 12. Okay, question 7. I'm on top of it. F of x is equal to root of x squared plus 16. Notice we have the square root. Anything square root is to the power of 1 over 2. To the power of 1/2. So this whole entire thing is to the power of 1/2. Which means we have a function within a function. So we are going to do the chain rule again. So right now, what we have here is x squared plus 16 to the power of 1/2. So we are going to need to do first the power rule with 1/2. So we are going to multiply this by 1/2, and we are going to subtract 1 from 1/2 to get negative 1/2. Okay, next we are going to need to multiply this whole entire thing by the inner function's derivative. So x squared plus 16, what is the derivative? Well, 16 is a constant, so that's 0, and x squared, the derivative of x squared is going to be 2x. So we can multiply this all by 2x. And then we need f prime 3, so we are going to multiply it by 3 for x. And this is our equation, which is going to be this inside is going to be 9 plus 16, which is 25, to the negative 1/2. So to the negative 1/2. And then this first part, 2 times 1/2 is just equal to 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Times, so we got 3 times 25 square root negative 1/2. And that means that we are doing the square root of 25, which is 5, and then since it's negative, that means we are dividing. So this whole thing can just be simplified to divided by 5. And the answer is 3/5. Let's go. Next. Okay, now here we want to find the second derivative of 3x. And 3x, we know that since it's just 3x, the exponent's 1, we multiply 3 by 1, which is 3, 3x, and then 1 minus 1, which is 0, and anything to the 0 power is 1, so the x cancels out. So the derivative of 3x is just 3. But we need to find the second derivative, so we need to take the derivative of 3, which is going to be 0 because 3 is just a constant. Okay, this one also is asking for the second derivative because we have f prime prime instead of just f prime. So we have this equation, we need to find f prime of 2. Let's do the power rule for this. So 3x cubed is going to be 9x squared, and then 5x squared is going to be 10x, and the 9 is a constant, so the derivative is just going to be 0. Now we need the second derivative, so 9x squared, the derivative is 18x, and then the derivative of 10x is just 10. And now we need to plug in 2 for x, so 18 times 2 is 36, plus 10 is 46. There you have it, basic derivatives in calculus Roblox. I hope you all enjoyed. Look, I'm blending in with the wall. My shirt is blending in with the wall. Anyways, next time we're doing calculus, limit, and integrals. So stay tuned for that if you like this video.